So, Marvel Rivals has been blowing up, and honestly, I can see why. It is a great game. If you haven't played it yet, first of all, it's free. I recommend hopping on there and giving it a go. It's relatable because Marvel films, Avengers films, whatever you want to say, are some of the best films that have been brought out in kind of our generation, I'd say. And yeah, to be honest, this game is great, and it is really, really good fun. Today, we're going to go over 30 tips/secrets that you probably didn't know. If you did know all of these, you need to go outside and touch and grass a bit more because you've been playing way too much. But let's get into these. Right, so number one, most of the heroes on this game actually have kind of a flat 30 damage on their melees, right? Spider-Man, for example, has like 26, 27 per hit, but obviously he's a melee kind of damage hero that mostly does that. But there's a few that have like different weird like amounts of melee, and it does go into different ones. For example, I know Iron Man, right? You're not really going to ever melee with him, but he only does 25. If you hit people with this, you can see that it only takes a sliver of health away. So this would take like 10 hits to kill someone. But if you use someone like a Scarlet Witch, they seem to actually do like near enough like 40. They do a lot more damage than most people would, but their melee is a bit slower as well. But it's kind of strange that most of the squishy characters you'd think would have the same melee damage, but they really don't. And most people do, once again, have a flat like 30. But Iron Man has less, and Scarlet Witch seems to have more, and I know that like Hela has a bit more as well, so it's a weird one. But if you do main a certain hero, then make sure you know what damage they do per melee, because it could really like tell you if you can kill him in 1 or 2. And just moving on from the melee tip, if you're actually using Hawkeye, his melee actually deflect bullets. Now, if you actually get shot and time it right, you can press B or your melee button at the right time, and if you can see it deflects the bullet. It like makes a little sound effect as well. I'll play it again so you can hear it there. Right, so number 2, hitboxes are kind of odd because this game is in third person, right? If you shoot to the left of someone like this, you can see how close my crosshair is to them, right? And it's not quite hitting if you go like here. And you can see that it kind of shoots to the left of where you're actually aiming to. If you go to this side and you actually shoot quite close, but like the same distance away, it will actually kill them. So if you're aiming at someone, make sure you always aim for the right-hand side of them. This has been a thing in third-person games for as long as like I remember, to be honest. I remember like Gears of War, great game by the way. I can't wait for the new one. Let me know if you played Gears of War like in the past, because honestly, one of my favorite games ever. Off topic, but it's been the case for a long, long time where you could kind of shoot this side, because it's like the hitbox is a bit weird. No one seems to know how to sort it out. Maybe it doesn't need sorting out, but just so you know, always aim to the right-hand side of whoever you are shooting on this game. So the next one is going to be quite obvious again, but it is just to do with using chronovision. Chronovision, if you hold, for us on controller, it is right on the D-pad. I believe on PC it's the E button, but I imagine you can have it to whatever you want on there. But if you hold it down, you can see all the breakable objects in the game. Obviously the fences, the trees, all the bushes are all breakable. And if something's highlighted like this, it means that the whole building is basically breakable. So just a little one, make sure you use chronovision. It is really good for poke characters or just alternatively flanking around the side. There's a lot of things that can be broken in this game that you probably don't even know about. So make sure you use this just to be interested and kind of learn what can and can't be broken. Going into another tip, if you use Hawkeye, make sure you press Y and use his arrows, which actually like these ones here, with the ones that have the explosive on, because they destroy things way, way quicker than you shooting it. So if you want to destroy some cover, like some chronovision cover that you don't want, or you want to make a hole in the wall, as you can see, it breaks it a lot quicker than using a standard arrow like this. Yeah. Right there, you can see. Now, I know Spider-Man and Venom, obviously, they can run on walls, right? If you just hop on walls, you can climb on them. You can also just press RT and run, as you can see right here. If you hop on them, then you can press run, and you can run around like this. Pretty cool movement in terms of, like, if you enjoy playing movement characters on games like I used to on Apex, for example, stuff like this is really, really cool. And honestly, they've done a great job making it smooth as hell. But there's actually a lot of heroes that can do this on the game. Obviously, Venom can. But one that's not so obvious, Rocket actually can as well, and you can actually like just crawl, you have to run, and he is zooming and his hitbox is tiny. Honestly, he is really, really fun to run around on walls. And also, everyone's favourite character in the game can also kind of run on walls. You can actually climb on walls like this, and you can just go on any surface you want with Jeff. And just the final one to mention for this, Black Panther can't actually run on walls, but he can run directly up walls if you hold the jump button down while you run up. Alternatively, you can double jump as well. If you do this, and then you hit a double jump right at the top, you can get pretty high up on walls. Just another one to do with walls as well. Venom and Spider-Man, obviously you can hang on walls with both these or just sit on a wall if you want to. Hulk's actually one that you can also do this with if you use his LT or his jump ability. If you hop onto a wall like this, for example, make sure you hold down the jump button, well, mine's LT, but whatever your jump button is to do this whole animation, make sure you hold it down when you actually get to the wall and you will kind of grab onto it and just stay there. You can also pair this with looking around and doing it again as well. So as soon as you hold LT, you're already kind of charging another one up and you can just jump straight off the wall again. It makes for some really, really handy movement to make some easy kills of Hulk. And honestly, imagine a Hulk just like landing on you from nowhere and you don't expect it. Bit of crazy movement for Hulk if you didn't already know that you can do that. So when you actually use Punisher's ziplines, make sure when you interact with them, you actually hit a little jump off the end. As you can see from this, you will fly so much further if you set them up right. You hit a jump right there, and I've set another one up here because this one shows it really, really well. If you just jump on and you actually hit a jump, look how far you fly. Like, you literally go miles. You can be back on that, like, point in 0 seconds if you set them up right. So if you play Punisher, make sure you get these zips set up perfectly. For, like, each map, you should kind of have a plan of what you want to do. And just a thought while I was actually making this, do you think they should make a team-up ability where other people can use his ziplines? I know that he has the one with Rocket and Winter Soldier there, but imagine if he could do, I don't know, like you could pair, say, like Spider-Man, if you paired him with Punisher, or Spider-Man could also use ziplines. I know you don't really need them. Maybe you need something else, but I feel like that'd be quite a cool little team-up if you could have other people using your ziplines you set up. Maybe obviously not the whole team, because that would be ridiculous. Imagine a bloody, like, Groot going along with zipline. But yeah, I think that'd be quite a cool team up, to be honest. So I played a long time with Hawkeye, and this is one that I don't think a lot of people really know about, so I just wanted to mention it. When you actually use the charge up on Hawkeye's arrow, as you can see, if you don't really aim at anyone, you don't really have any charge here. There's a number on the screen there that I'll zoom into that if you actually go onto an enemy, like hit their hitbox, it charges up to 100, and when it's at 100, you can hit one-shot headshots on squishy characters, basically. But it's just one of them things that it also shows that the bow also kind of like charges up, as you can see. It kind of goes like purpley, and then you can ding people really, really easily with this. So I just wanted to like say, make sure if you're aiming, you want to like, keep people in their sights all the time, and it just makes it way easier to like hit people and one-shot them. And if you aim at people quite consistently, it is actually really, really quick as well. So the next one's actually going to be with Loki, and it kind of ties into one of the first ones I mentioned about melees. If you actually look on his kit, if you look in the bottom right there, it says backstab, and it says you pull out a dagger to stab enemies dealing extra damage. And if you actually hit people in the back, you can see that he does get a dagger out and actually hit people. And this melee damage actually causes 45 to the enemies if you're in the back. If you go to the front of them, I believe it is the standard 30. If you go in the back, it is 45, which is a substantial like change, but honestly, I think it should be higher. I feel like Loki as a character, I know he is pretty good, but I feel like if you use the LT ability where you go completely invisible, and then you were like to go like sneak up behind someone that was trying to kill you, I think if you hit someone in the back, you should do like half their damage or something. I really think it should be stronger, but that's one of them things that not a lot of people probably know that that is a thing. And once again, it is actually on his kit. It's the only person I believe that actually has the extra melee damage that he has on his kit. So I don't know what happened to all the other ones, and they it doesn't really say anything about them. But the backstab ability, I think it could be better, but once again, maybe someone didn't know about it. So this one will apply to a few heroes in this game, but the two I'm going to show you are Doctor Strange and Groot, and it is more a tank ability. But because there is such a delay between his just standard firing, his RT or his shooting, there's like room in there to do two things. You can either shoot, shield, shoot, and then you can kind of, it just resets like that. Or you can shoot, melee, shoot, and it doesn't really delay anything. You actually just get extra damage output or damage blocked. So if you were to shoot someone and you were up close and you do the shoot, damage, and shoot, melee, shoot, you actually kill people a lot faster than you would otherwise. And also, a melee actually charges your dark magic Q by 10% each time. By shooting people, you do charge it a bit more, but it is worth saying that if you melee people, you do get 10% charge on that, and it is a very good ability when fully maxed out. Alternatively, with Groot, you can actually do the same thing if you just do a bit of this. And something quite interesting about Groot that you might not know is he actually has 3 different melee animations. If you were to hit someone once, he does that, like the little right-hand swing. If you do it again, does the same thing. But if you do like 3 in a row, he kind of does like 3 different ones. If you look at this, he does 1, 2, and then a little slam down. And it's pretty cool that he has different melee animations. I'm not sure if many people have that. And while we're on the Groot subject, I might as well go into how his walls work, because at first I just don't think many people understand it. If you haven't really played him, I don't think you have a reason to, but you need to know about these. So first of all, his RB, or the longer wall, if you put this near people and you actually shoot people and do damage, you will gain health. The more damage you do, the more health you can gain, and I believe you can gain up to 1,050, and I think it maxes out right there. So if this wall is near you and you're doing damage, this will actually boost your health, and it will also boost your team's health. So this is a really strong one to do damage around. The other one is the LB. Let me just get rid of this. The other one is like my LB ability, which is a smaller one. If you put this near someone, this will actually help you to attack. And as you can see, if you hit, it does kind of give you like a bit of an assistance, and branches kind of fly out and hit people. The hitbox on this is kind of weird, but if you, so if it's like here, and it's like on the corner, they probably won't help out. They do have to be right in front of it. But another thing to mention is if you use his LT, like his ball you can throw, they will also help if it does splash damage to anyone. So this here is really helpful to have on like a real close spot if you're like on a point and you want to protect yourself. You want to try and box people in, do a bit of damage to them, and they want to be in that corner. Next up, a very simple tip for Moon Knight. Now, you know he has his grapple where you can kind of just put it down and it pulls you towards wherever you want to go. I wish you could actually grapple people in with this. It would be really, really helpful, but maybe make them a bit too good. But anyway, if you actually look down at the ground and you use his grapple, you actually get boosted really high into the air. You compare that with his double jump, and you can actually go really, really high. You can also obviously use the glider as well, so if you do them 3 things and pair them all together, you can actually travel quite far. The glider ability is pretty bad because of how slow he moves, but still, just pairing these two if you want to go up high, and then you hit the double jump, you can go pretty far. So next up, we're going to go over Namor. I think it's Namor. Namor? I think it's Namor, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, he's a very, very good character in this game. And one of the things that make him really good is his ability to have these turrets, right? But you really know how good these turrets can be. I know they don't last long, but these things generally have like a 25 to 30 meter range, as you can see. I am right back here. If I shoot just over 25, this thing is actually shooting that way. And another good thing about these is they can literally go anywhere. They don't have to be on the floor. You can hide them above you. Look, they stick to the roof. And they are really, really strong. And also, not many people look up. Honestly, put them on roofs and high up areas is going to be really good. With like a 30 meter range they have, they can literally shoot from that roof all the way down here. It is pretty far, so I recommend trying to hide these things on the roof or like up on high bits like this, because they do literally stick to any surface. So the next is going to be for Winter Soldier and StarLord, and it's basically that you can reload for using abilities. So if you free tap someone like this, you shoot them 3 times and you use your RB here and like can shoot again. Instead of reloading, the animation just gets cancelled and it reloads for you because of this, like one of his passives. And you see in the bottom right, it says his passive is to reload automatically while the bionic arm is in action. But the another one that it's actually worked with is StarLord. Now StarLord's things are, he's actually really, really strong. I think StarLord's even kind of underrated at this point. No one really plays him and I think they should. But his reload animation is a little long, right? If you shoot your whole clip, then you can dash, you can literally shoot instantly. You don't even, it reloads whenever you do things. It's like Tracer off Overwatch a little bit, but yeah, you can use this boost a lot, and honestly, the reload actually is really, it's quite slow, like normally, but the whole dash thing really does make it a lot easier. So the next one's actually one that I literally learned this morning. So Mantis has a sleep ability, right, that you've probably seen. A lot of people use Mantis. She's probably one of the better healers in the game, and as you can see, when you sleep, that actually puts out the person you slept's like thing here. I guess it's like the soul that's inside them, whatever. If your teammates actually shoot that, if you've got slept, if this gets shot by someone, it actually unsleeps you. It cancels it off. So if you ever get slept, tell your team to shoot you, basically. Because if you do that, it actually cancels it off and you get unslept, so you won't be frozen for as long. I know it's a very situational thing, but if you get slept, it is quite annoying. You shoot that purple bit behind, you will be unslept. So next up's actually not very gameplay related. Well, it kind of is. If you look at your scoreboard and you have ace above your name, as I do in this one here, done a lot of damage this game. If you have ace at the top left, as you can see, I zoomed in there. That means that you're on for MVP. You are currently the MVP. And the ace on the other team is going to be the SVP, depending on who wins the game. So that's basically the most valid player in your team. So if you have that ace icon above your head, you're doing something right. So if you are in a game of Convoy, I'm going to say this as I'm on the other team right now, but if you have 4 people on the payload at once, that is the maximum speed they can move at. So if you have 6 people on there, you're kind of pointless. You might as well have 2 people like taking angles. And I know this is a AI bot game at the moment. Honestly, I'm getting dinged a little bit by these easy bots. But I just wanted to say that if you have a payload just like this one here on the convoy mode, if you have 4 people on it, that is the maximum speed you can get to. If you have 1 person, it's like a quarter, say, and then in fact it gets faster up to 4. After you have 4 on it, that's the max, and having 6, once again, is pretty pointless. So if you are fed up of getting eaten by Jeff, there's a lot of abilities in this game, not even all of them are ultimates either, that you can just completely disregard Jeff and you will not get caught by him. As you can see on screen, Namor, StarLord, just using their kind of Q button or their RB, LT, whatever you want to say. Groot's LB tree, actually, or his RB1, also makes it so he won't get you. Punisher ult right there. There's a lot of these. I recommend if you just go into the fire range of a mate and try and test a few of these out on your main. I guarantee that most of the people in this game and heroes, if you use some form of ability at the right time, you'll be able to avoid getting eaten by Jeff. So StarLord can actually dash away from most ultimates. Tony Romero made a video that's going to be explaining it better than me. Just take a look at this.
Oh, thought you had me. Oh boy.
Fear Magneto!
Oh, sweet moves, right?
And I think that just about backs up what I said earlier about StarLord being very, very good. Obviously, there's a bit of timing involved with that, but yeah, he does seem very, very good on this game. So next up, we have Magneto's ult. Just a quick one of how this actually works. So if you actually use his ult and you just let it go straight away, it does around about 100 damage, right? And that's like the standard if you need to use it quickly. If you actually go up and let it charge, so if you go right to the top here and you let that whole thing kind of go around, and then it shoots on his own, You can one-hit people for like 250 to 300. I believe that it does a range of 1 to 300 damage. And another cool thing that I want to mention, which is more of like the secret part of this, which is very hard to show in firing range, but if you use his ult and this ball actually gets shot, it can suck in damage and then it shoots it back out to a certain extent. You can actually get up to 500 damage on the ball if you wait for long enough and you time it right, but it can also be destroyed if it's shot too much. But just a quick tip for Magneto there. I didn't really see a lot of people kind of using Magneto, I don't think, at the moment, but I'm also not that high of a rank yet. I'm only in Platinum. So we'll see, maybe more Magnetos will start popping up. I just see Strange everywhere at the moment. And the final couple for this video, just because they annoy the crap out of me, shoot please, right? Please, when you see something on the floor that looks anything like this, shoot it. These things take damage if you're on the other team. Just please, if you see one of these as red, shoot it. And this goes for the same way as Penny. If you see any of these on the ground and you haven't even got a Penny on your team or something, please shoot them. And this thing here, please shoot it. Because I can't. I'm fed up with people not shooting them. It doesn't take a lot and it just helps out the team a lot. Please, if you see anything like this on the floor, please shoot them. Now, when you're learning a new game, I know that everyone loves to learn little secrets of things like this video, and I'm the same. I literally wanted to learn myself, so I went looking for some. I researched a few, and I put this video together to hopefully teach you what I've learned. So hopefully you all learned something from this. If you didn't, get outside, touch a bit of grass because you played way too much. And I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do what you feel like doing. I'm trying to start doing a bit of Marvel Rivals content. I'm playing the game, I'm enjoying it, so why not? And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Once again, comment, subscribe, do what you feel like doing. Let me know how the video was and know what you learned. And let me know who your favourite hero is right now if you got to this point of the video. But cheers, guys. Thank you for watching, and peace out for now.